Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
You're listening to Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
Over the holidays, I caught up with a lot of my friends, and it was really nice. It was, to have the time to actually sit down and have good chats and not feel like you've got 1,000 things on. So it was really leisurely and got to spend a lot of time with them. But in my circle of friends outside of work, I'd say 80% of them are married.
Yeah, right.
Maybe
okay.
even 85, I'd say, you know.
Wow. You've got the graph up and everything.
Yeah, and they're all sort of having kids as well now, so it's really closing in on me to be like, oh God, what's going on?
Yeah. You're a part of the collective 15%.
Yeah, the 15% that still go to nightclubs on the weekend.
Not only go to nightclubs,
I'm starting to find the gap between the conversations difficult, you know?
Yeah, but work at a nightclub too, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm fully ingrained.
You're fully into that lifestyle.
Do your married friends think you're like really hip? Going to nightclubs all the time?
Don't say hip. That's a really lame.
Well, that's how
But
I
also-
imagine old people say it.
Old people.
Don't forget, they're still Davo's age.
Yeah.
Drive by.
They do. They think I'm very cool, and so they should.
Hip.
Yeah. But, as as your friends are married and having kids, your conversations certainly change, and the nights out change as well. And a lot of my friends, married friends, will socialise with their other married friends and have, maybe a game night and have drinks, very coupley.
Surely, I know, like, you're going on about, the marrying and the kids and stuff, but when you see them having game nights, surely you're like, I'm glad I'm not in that percentile. Surely you like the nightclubs a hell of a lot more than playing mousetrap with your friends.
That's straight from a 24-year-old's mouth.
That would suck.
Yeah, no, I know. But you wait, it'll come for you, mate. It'll come for you.
Well,
Playing Trouble on a Saturday night.
My fascination with Milton Bradley games will come at a certain age.
You'll be doing movie trivia in no time. You'll love it.
Well, I did do a murder mystery the other night.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's pretty on page.
So like I said, one of my couple mates did just that. They had a night where they had another married couple with them and they were playing games and having drinks. But the husband of one of the couples starts being a little bit cheeky and sort of starts joking about, maybe playing strip poker.
Oh, okay.
He sort of says that, and then he sort of escalates a little bit more to sort of being like, "Oh, you're gorgeous" to the wife, my friend.
Okay, so what's this guy's scenario? Is he got a partner? Or?
Yeah, they're two married couples.
two married
Callum,
couples.
follow.
Is this is the kind of guy who's like after a couple beers says, "Let's play Truth or Dare"?
Pretty much. And so he's sort of edging with this joke. He sort of keeps playing around with it, and then he's like, "Maybe we should just swing."
Really? Wow. He's really jumped the gun. Usually, I feel like it goes strip poker, then it goes, how about spin the bottle, and then maybe swing.
Do you reckon he's had conversations with his wife about swinging?
Well, I think
previously?
so. I reckon they'd be down for it.
You wouldn't want
to
to spring it on your partner at a couple's game.
Well, you wouldn't want to spring it on your mates either, because my friends were horrified.
What
They're
happened?
going, God, no.
Did they take the piss and laugh a bit, or was
Yes.
it more just this
So
is a bit gross?
They laughed about it quite a bit, but it wasn't until they went to bed when they, the closed doors, everyone's gone to their own separate rooms, and my friend goes, "If that bloke comes in here, I'm going to scream."
Hey guys, he comes in his underwear. I brought Hungry Hungry Hippo. I thought we could have a exclusive after dark games night.
I'll be the hippo.
But we do want to talk about swinging, and it does happen. It's quite common, and I know it happens here in Adelaide because another one of my friends actually went to a party and they were all getting it on.
Yeah, right.
Right here in the city.
Jeez, get me the address for that place.
Oh, yeah.
We do have an anonymous caller on the line. Good morning. How are we going?
Hello.
Yeah, g'day. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Now, you're obviously staying anonymous for this, but first question off the bat: have you swung before?
Yeah, I did it for probably just under 20 years with my wife.
Wow.
Yeah, cool. So 20 years, does that mean you were swinging, were you going to private parties, like a function kind of thing, or are people coming to your house? Like, how are you meeting people and stuff to do it with?
Yeah, well, we went to private parties. Like, they charged about $80 for a couple,
Oh, wow.
and that was for your drinks and nibblies and all that, like food, I mean. And and then like you'd meet people there and stuff, and then like in the end, because it was getting a bit pricey, like if you every couple of weeks you'd spending out, $80-100. This was 20 years ago, so
Yeah.
So we ended up just exchanging numbers, and we went to each other's houses and just did it like that.
Okay, how did you go? Did you ever feel jealous, if someone was with your partner?
No, you've got to be solid together, and it's just a bit of fun. There's no emotions involved. It's just fun. You just have a few drinks, and
Yeah. How did the conversation even come about in the first place?
Yeah, I imagine it's a risky one to bring up with the missus.
Yeah, he could have been in the doghouse.
No, we were just watching TV one night. It was actually SBS, and they had a special on it. Like it came up, and we just looked at each other and said, "Oh, we should just try that." And
Yeah. So is there much of a social aspect when you go to one of the things? Because you're talking about the dips and the food and like all that stuff. Do you just talk for a little bit beforehand before any of you get down to it?
Yeah. You don't just run in, rip your pants off, and no.
Yeah, what party do you go for that? Yeah, what's the entry fee?
Full mongrel. No, you're easing into it.
Yeah, they have like a little bar set up, and
good.
Some of them have a spa and stuff like that.
Oh, wow. Look, we have to wrap things up, but one final question. I'd just love to know, when was the last time you did swing? Was it recently?
Yeah, well, I've been separated from my wife for 10 years now.
Sorry to hear.
But no, I still, occasionally you do bump into someone that's keen.
Do you
Hell
bump
yeah,
into,
you do.
Sorry,
From back in the day.
one little quick one. Do you bump into ex-swingers that you might have seen 20 years ago around the stomping grounds?
Oh, no, they're probably in bloody nursing homes by now.
And on that note, we've got to wrap things up there.
You're gonna need a bigger podcast.
Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
Yeah, boys, as we know, I've got a side hustle on the weekend. It's emceeing at the club.
Yeah.
That's me, up on stage.
This is actually a sound grab we've got from the last time we went to see you.
How long have you been doing it now? It's been a while doing the emceeing at the club.
I think it's almost been a year.
Wow, yeah, it's gone fast.
Yeah, geez, and gosh, we've gone from peak to peak with how how talented I am on that stage. Geez, but it is so much fun. I get up there, I give it heaps, and it's a good time. And that is literally what it's like, though. You know, we do make fun, but
It's what happens.
It is.
For sure.
And to be fair, like, it has been really good for my confidence, like the emceeing, because you learn to not care what people think, and you just, as long as you're having fun, that hypes the crowd up and they have fun.
Yeah, and like not to take anything away, but a lot of these people aren't going to remember anything
Exactly.
the next day.
Exactly.
So there's no reason to be embarrassed.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
surely
good.
the parameters of making mistakes are really just a bit skewed, aren't they? It's a blurry line because, like you said, everyone's going to forget anything. You could fall off the stage. You could do something drastic, and maybe one or two people will remember shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. And, look, the thing is because I am up there with this confidence baby, giving it heaps, every now and then some of the patrons fall in love with me. They're only human.
Hey, you're a rock star. You're the one on stage. You are the front and center,
How many numbers have you gotten from this MC gig?
Look, I've lost count, Dale.
Yeah.
No, but they like, I'll be up on stage and I'll know this because they're giving me the eyes from the crowd. A few phones will pop up. One will say, "Marry me." One will say, "You're so beautiful." The other one will say, "Wow, I've never seen such a gorgeous, gorgeous girl."
Yeah, right.
Oh my goodness, the talent here. I'll just keep going. Or?
Are those our mates coming in, or
Yeah, your mates.
Is there a distinct, because you've been doing it a while, is there a distinct look you can see in someone's eyes before they have made a comment to you where you can tell you're like, this person is going to hit on me?
Yeah.
Hell
They
yeah.
have the drunk eyes.
They're biting the lip.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
the romance look on their face.
Absolutely. We know, because remember I did catch you doing that one time, Callum.
I don't
You
think
know
so.
we know.
I wear sunglasses for that exact reason, so I can't get caught.
But no, so like I said, these patrons, they've fallen in love with me. Fair enough, they're only human. And this bloke comes up to me after I get off stage and I'm feeling pretty confident, pretty good. There's a bit of, cordial's been drunk, so I'm really feeling myself. And this guy goes to me, I can't believe it. I think you're so hot. And I'm thinking, first of all, can't believe it. Like, obviously, he can't believe he's talking to such a babe.
Yeah.
But then he goes, I can't believe it, but I think you're so hot. I can't believe it.
Right.
What can't you believe, Dal?
It sort of seeped into. It started off like very nice, and he thinks you're attractive, and it seeped into the backhand.
It is a bit backhanded, isn't it?
The most backhanded compliment I've ever seen. Like I said, believe it, Dal.
I can't believe it, Davo. I think I find you funny.
Oh, you jerk.
You're listening to Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
Recently, I've gotten myself into a really bad habit, you guys, and it's I keep forgetting to bring my house keys with me because I've got two sets of keys. I've got car keys and then house keys, and I don't like to combine them because then I find the keys get too chunky in my pockets.
Right, yeah.
But then you've got to get two sets of keys, and you're obviously proving to yourself that you can't manage that.
Would you ever hit up one of the, like the, what do you call it, the what you put on your belt, the lanyard kind of thing, where you can dangle a bunch of keys off?
No, I'm okay, thanks.
I'm selling some new business.
And this coming from a man that isn't trusted to have keys at all. Why don't you do that?
I don't like the idea of take around keys. Like, I have a little box set in
After
front of
you
my
lost
house.
6 pairs.
After a few big nights, it's like, I can't like take the keys around. Like, I do lose them, but it's good to have them at the house. It's just more convenient, 100%.
Well,
it's super convenient. Like, it's not stupid to have like keys in a box at the front of your house. It's cool.
It's a little
Because
stupid.
you can't be trusted to have them. That's it.
It's definitely
That's the
not
important
cool.
part about that sentence. Anyway, so you've got two sets of keys. You keep forgetting to take your house keys.
Yeah, I just sort of grab the car keys and I'm out the door. When your mind's a little scrambled in the mornings. And I kind of figure throughout the day as well, it's fine. There'll be someone home. If not, I know how to break into my home. And I've gotten very good at breaking into my own home.
Okay, don't reveal too much about this, just in case someone follows you back home to your nice castle in Norwood.
Oh, get off it. No, it's a pretty simple way to break into my home. All I got to, the only hard part is I have to jump this like maybe 8-9 foot fence, which is
Far out.
It lingers on the moat that goes around the house.
So, okay, so you literally jump an 8-foot fence.
Yeah, but it's I scale another fence and then sort of jump up. It's a bit of an effort, but once I'm over that fence into my backyard, then it's home free. Then I know how to get in.
Okay,
which
right.
I won't reveal.
No, don't.
Would this not be one of the greatest pleasures being a neighbour to have to, if you see someone that can't get into their house, have to scale up this huge fence, clumsy, stumbling along, like it would be so funny.
Sometimes it is like late afternoon where I'm pretty buggered as well, so I might get there. I'm like, oh no,
legs
sluggish,
legs
yeah,
away.
yeah, sort of like pulling myself over, legs are limp. But then I was talking to a mate the other day when I after I broke into my home and I was telling him the story, and he told me about this time he had to break into his family home. And he had to full scale onto the roof and then open up a couple roof tiles. He had to take them off of the house.
That's wild.
And then scale through the ceiling and sort of climb through the ceiling until he found the right vent to pop out and then come out into his home.
Yeah.
Far out.
Yeah,
Full Mission Impossible.
It is very elaborate. At that point, you'd think, just buy one of the rocks with the keyhole. And this could all be done. All your troubles could be done.
We've all been there, though, when you have to get into your house. You've lost your keys, you've forgotten the keys, and you have to get in there.
Did you have to break into your house? I want to hear some elaborate stories of how you got in.
Jeez, because I think there'd be a full spectrum of, going down the manhole, opening up the tiles, all that stuff. And then I'm sure there's been a few other just very risque, just throw a rock at the window. Someone's probably had to smash a window to get in. I'm sure there's some basic ways to do it.
Let's never forget about that time I went to get Uber Eats out the front of my house and the front door slammed. I had no underwear on and just an hoodie and I had to scale a 7-foot fence.
Also,
not good.
Pressure's
We've
on.
all been there, Davo.
Pressure's on. The food's getting cold as well.
Yeah, we got a text in here, obviously, about people trying to break into their house. This one here is a cracker. It says, I went to take the rubbish outside and the wind blew our door shut and locked me out. My newborn baby was inside, so I had to climb through my eldest son window just to get back inside the house to make sure my newborn was okay. I couldn't wait for anyone else to come home and help me inside. Far out.
That's a huge one.
That's a stressful situation.
The baby inside.
I mean, a hugely stressful situation. Because you were saying before, Debbie, you had to get into your house because you had Uber Eats at the front. And,
Yeah.
Also, once again, stressful situation. That food's going cold.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to go to Moana. We got Trevor on the line. Trev, how'd you break into your house?
My friend's motorbike and kind of clutch kicked it into first gear and shattered the bottom window so that I could get through when I was about 16.
Wait, you drove...
You drove a motorbike?
Into the...
Yeah, technically I didn't drive it because I wasn't on it. I just clicked it into first gear, gave it a little bit of a rev and then dropped the clutch so that it stalled. As it stalls, they jump forward.
Far out.
Was it your motorbike, Trevor?
No, it was my mate's motorbike.
Yeah, right. Was there other like rationale in your head where you're like, oh, I could do this, I could do that, and then you came to the motorbike, or was it bang straight go? I'm gonna do the motorbike technique.
Pretty much straight go. I was 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
There was definitely a window there that they could have jimmied on in, but this seemed like more fun.
Yeah, boys will be boys, hey, Trevor?
It's the funnest way. It's the funnest way to get into your house, isn't it?
Hey, let's go to David over in Parafield Gardens. David, how'd you break into your house?
Morning, guys. How you going?
Yeah, good, mate. And yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you. So I had to kick the front door in. I went out shopping, and I went to the butcher's and that. I had about $500 worth of meat and stuff like that, and the key snapped off in the lock. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll kick the door in, and it's actually cheaper to do it that way than call a locksmith on a Sunday.
Yeah, right. Was it cheaper to kick the door and then break a window? Or just safer, I guess?
Well, I've got big windows at the front, so I thought, front door. And anyway, put the shopping in, and then the police came. So
Yeah, right. I mean, you got to consider.
My meat was going to go off, officer.
Well, you got to consider how much you're paying for the meat as well, and you're going to be losing that if you don't get in quickly.
That's it. So it ended up costing about $280 new lock and a new door, and it was going to be about $450 with a locksmith.
Jeez. Hey, David, since that experience, have you left any spare keys outside now, or are you just ready to kick in another door?
I give one to the neighbour. So,
yeah, it's a smart way to do it.
Davo, Tom and Callum podcast. Davo, Tom and Callum podcast. I'll have what she's having.
Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
There is nothing worse than having a messy room in your home, right?
Yeah.
Makes you feel kind of anxious, coming home from work and your bedroom's a mess, or you've got pots and pans everywhere you need to clean in the kitchen.
So you could say the pots and pans were in the bedroom.
Sometimes if I can't be bothered to bowl, if the bowls are all dirty.
I had a real low point in the holidays, actually, guys, where I went away for 2 nights and my mum got into my den and cleaned it. And I was so embarrassed.
Well, I guess it's like that invasion of privacy, isn't it? Because you don't let anyone into the den.
Exactly.
Any regular Joes can't get in. I wasn't allowed in the den when I came to visit your house once.
Yeah.
So Jimmy the lock to get in.
Oh my God, yeah. It's so embarrassing as a 30-year-old woman.
Yeah, it just kind of makes you feel anxious having dirtiness in your house. But on the other hand, there's nothing worse than actually doing the cleanup. Like when you come home from work, you see it. The last thing I want to do is start folding clothes, vacuum. I hate vacuuming at the best of times, Just the noise annoys me. But
you're screaming while you're vacuuming. You can't do this. You just can't get through the process.
No, but there's few ways to get around this, and I'm going to give you some quick tips on how to get your house clean quick. Obvious one, firstly, hire a maid service. A little expensive, but they're effective. Second option, another one, marry a clean freak, because they'll probably just end up doing it all for you.
They don't mind either.
They don't mind. Yeah, you can continue to be that slob that you always were at heart. But hold on to your hats, because we've got a new option, a new way to keep your house clean, and this is like the cheap and dirty way, And And basically, it comes from this wildlife photographer over in the UK. He's just found out this way to clean your house. And it was because he noticed his shed was slowly getting cleaner and cleaner over the course of about 2 months. So in order to figure out the mysterious forces behind this, he set up a camera and realised it was none other than a little mouse.
Ooh,
that was meant to be a mouse noise. It sounded more like a spider.
It's
a mouse cleaning his home.
That is bizarre, because what would your first intuition be if your house started getting clean and there's no one in the house? Oh, it would be ghosts, right?
Yeah, ghosts.
You would which is such a strange concept that you would go straight for the paranormal as opposed to, a definite real life thing like a mouse.
Well, the thing is that mice are usually attracted to mess. So they'll come and they will run around in your crumbs and whatever.
Yeah.
But this guy's just going against the grain, and he's going, you know what? I need to change the way us mice live.
Perceived.
I
I
need to
imagine
do
him
some
picking,
PR here.
Yeah, I imagine this mouse, carrying a little wrench to the tool belt.
Guys,
hooking
we got a bad rap.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks we're gross little rodents. I'm going to change the game. And he's going to take videos as well, so everyone knows mice are clean.
Well, this bloke, he started leaving stuff out to test it. He'd put things before he went to bed in the wrong position, and then when in the morning he'd check the camera, and this mouse has gone up. He's got pegs, nuts, bolts, and put them back where they belong. So this guy has got this mouse cleaning his house.
Well, so you're saying he's building up more and more. He's getting so starting with the nuts and the bolts, and then he's going to put out his, frying pan with the oil, all the oil and, bit of a stir fry left over on it. See if the mice will clean that up.
He doesn't even need to use a sponge. He just soaps himself up.
Once again, excellent PR from this mouse.
You're listening to Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast. Action.
So were there two of us? There were two of us in the wolf pack.
May the force be with you.
Magic mirror on the wall.
There's no place like home.
I'm a bit of a perfectionist, actually. Get me out of here!
You're the go-to friend when it comes to guessing the film at quiz night. But let's see how you go when we give you nothing. Pick the flick on Fresh 92.7.
Yes, pick the flick. We're playing.
Please, don't yell at us.
I just love it. I just love it so much. But yes, pick the flick. We are playing this game where I pretty much give you a simple scenario of the movie, and all you have to do is guess.
Are you all right this morning?
Yeah, I'm all right.
We need to get that little grab.
I haven't had
that
a
was
Red Bull
insane.
in a while. I've been off the Red Bulls in a bit. I've started this morning, so I got the energy back. But yes, we are playing Pick the Flick. We give you a simple movie scenario, and all you have to do is guess what that movie is. And today, the description was Big Bad Blue Wolf tries to become rich by stealing stories from a boy stuck in the middle.
Yeah, and every time we play Pick the Flick, the text line usually blows up. Usually we make it... There's one big hint. But I feel like today was cryptic enough, and there's not been as many right answers.
Yeah, well, usually the text line floods in if it's an easy one. So this one's obviously caught people a little bit, or we're stuck in the middle, I guess you could say.
Nice.
And, there's a few responses, so we'll see if anyone's right.
Well, we've got Zach on the phone line. Zach, good morning. How you going, mate?
Good, yourself?
Yeah, very good. Now, Zach, you've heard the clue, and you've got to guess. What is it?
Big Fat Liar.
What year did that one come out? Callum, you're a movie guy. You know.
I'll tell you what year.
It was,
maybe 06.
It was 02.
02.
Ah, yeah.
Who'd that have in there?
So
Frankie Muniz.
Sorry,
am I doing your job?
No. And you know what? You're rivaling the movie guy here. I quite like it, Zach.
Yeah. So it was Frankie Muniz. Why do you say that? So in the description, what is it that makes you think it is Big Fat Liar?
Yeah, well, the bloke who stole his movies, the Frankie did something to him and made him blue. So he rocked up to an event, he was blue. I'm like, blue, stolen movies. I'm like, yeah, bang, done.
Zach, I've got to ask, how long has it been since you've watched Big Fat Liar? Because I reckon, honestly, it's been about 20 years and I don't remember the plot at all.
Oh, it's got to be at least probably 6 or 7, I reckon.
That's recent, really.
That sounds recent.
I mean, I guess
I've watched it a couple of times, though. It's got runs on the board.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it in a while,
Put in a good innings.
If you haven't watched it in a while, I guess the blue aspect is huge. I mean, that's what's going to get it over the line, and that's
Callum,
That is why.
Is Big Fat Liar correct or incorrect?
I will say, Zach, that is why you are correct.
Oh, kill
It's Big Fat Liar. You know what as well? A little fun little bit in there. It's the Big Bad Blue Wolf. Marty Wolf is the name of the blue
Marty
man.
Wolf, yeah.
That's the name of the guy who steals.
That's why you're the movie guy.
Yeah, exactly right.
Jeez, I reckon you and Zach should start a podcast.
I think we'll start a little movie club.
I was going to say, tune in next week where Zach and Callum play Pick the Flick together. our new fourth host on the show.
Sometimes me think, what is friend? Then me say, friend is someone to listen to Davo, Tom and Callum podcast. Cookie, nom 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 nom.
We just had the Golden Globe Awards. It is, the massive precursor for the Academy Awards where, a bunch of TV shows, movies get all of their nods, best director, best shows and all that stuff.
Do you know who judges the Golden Globes?
I think it's just like...
Is it a panel?
I think it's a panel.
It's a panel, yeah. And then some tax company counsel the votes.
Oh, interesting.
They sponsor them.
Okay.
Right, yeah. Yeah, interesting. No, but it's like, but between like all the votes and stuff and what goes down, you obviously have the speeches in between. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the speeches are so interesting. And I feel like every year the Golden Globes or the Academy Awards happen, there's always a few shonky speeches or something that happens that, cause a frenzy on the internet where they're like, that was a bit awkward, that was a bit crude, or, just it went terribly.
Yeah.
I mean, can we all remember Axel Whitehead from the Arias 2004? My God.
What did he do briefly?
He got his mongrel out on TV.
Oh, no, do remember that. No, I didn't realise as well with the speeches, they only have 30 seconds up there to do all their thank yous and whatnot. And apparently there's like a big countdown timer. When they stand on stage, there's a timer that only they can see from the stage, counting down the seconds they have.
Surely it's more than 30 seconds because they
30
always
seconds.
exceed
Yeah,
that
they
by
always
heaps.
exceed it, but like 30 seconds, and then if they keep going too long, they'll play them out.
Yeah, right. I guess that's the ultimate punishment, just being played out.
Imagine getting played out.
A big walking cane, drags you by the waist. This novelty-sized walking cane pulls you along. But we had Ali Wong. Ali Wong won an award for her role in Beef, the TV show, which is very popular on Netflix.
Won 3 awards on the night.
Yeah, huge. And she is dating Bill Hader at the moment.
I love Bill Hader.
Yeah, if you don't know Bill Hader, he's the dude he was made famous on SNL, but he plays not Seth Rogen, but the other cop in Superbad.
Yeah, he's also in the show Barry at the moment, which is doing very well on Binge.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Who's
the husband of the guy, the girl, sorry. His brother with Jason Segel. Movie chat really puts a handbrake, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? When you get caught up in the actors and, the directors. But Ali Wong has gone up to do her acceptance speech, and it is a little bit awkward and quite funny because she hasn't said anything about Bill Hader whatsoever, the man that she is dating. She's said absolutely nothing.
I really need to thank the father of my children. It's because of you that I'm able to be a working mother. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so not just not saying Bill Hader, but giving all the kudos to the old bloke, the ex-husband.
Yeah, so I heard the whole speech. So she thanks the ex-husband.
Yeah.
She thanks her best friend.
Yeah.
She thanks obviously the directors, etc.
Wow, so she really does a number going around everyone but the current situation.
And it is funny because you see the camera pan out to Bill Hader straight away because obviously the cameraman knows what he's doing.
Cameraman would be loving it. He's like, where's Bill? Where's Bill? Just target him immediately because he knows it's going to be embarrassing as.
But it is funny because you look at Bill in the crowd and his face is going, all right, I don't know, shrugging, and his mate is mouth open, hands on his head, cannot believe he wasn't thanked.
Yeah, it is interesting as well because you were saying before, Callum, Bill Hader and Ali Wong, they've only been together since 2022.
Yeah.
That's the same year that she split from her ex-husband as well.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he must have just been there all throughout for the Beef filming, right?
Yeah.
So why would you thank Bill, realistically, if he wasn't around?
I think he deserves and thanks to Bill for being there for me during the shoots or something.
But
or,
he wasn't.
Being like, I don't know, just being. I feel like he deserves.
I wouldn't have thanked Bill. That's all I'm saying.
Why have you got in for Bill Hader? Why do you hate him so much?
I don't like that clown movie.
Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.